we've known for quite some time that LeBron James really wants to play with his son, Bronny James, in the NBA. He made that crystal clear. He even kind of floated out saying that, well, whatever team drafts Bronny, that's probably where I'm going to end up being. He, of course, has walked that back after getting a ton of criticism, a ton of blowback, and Bronny not having the greatest season in college, averaging less than 5 points a game for USC in his freshman year. But Bronny, nevertheless, has entered the NBA draft. Well, at least for now. He can always still pull out before the draft actually occurs. But at the NBA draft combine, we saw a lot of people get put through their paces. We saw a lot of people, what they have, what's their actual measurements, what's their vertical, how do they perform with teammates, things like this. So now the question that everyone's asking, after Bronny James actually gets evaluated by NBA scouts, what do people think? Do they think he's any good? Do they think he should be drafted? Would they stay the fuck away? Well, the more and more we learn, the less good it looks for Bronny. LeBron's son, Bronny, not getting love from scouts. Quote, he is not an NBA prospect. And I wanted to go to this right here on NBA Today. They did this segment, I think 2 or 3 days ago this came out. But this is from a couple scouts, what their opinion was before the combine and what it is now, specifically about Bronny James. And spoiler alert, it's not great.
So he had a 40.5 vert. But I was like, what would you do right now before he goes and plays? What would you do? And they said, we wouldn't draft him. Both of them said they would not draft him. I said, okay, let me give him a couple days. Let's see what happens after they watch him play.
And to be clear, he's talking I wouldn't draft him. This is when they just came in and basically did the height, did the vertical, stuff like that, before they actually saw him on the floor, the jump shots, the scrimmages, things like that.
Now, this is their take after watching him play. Scout 1. I still don't think he's ready, but he did some good things. He's on the smaller side, so he's going to have to be elite on defense. You can see he has good vision, makes right passes, takes good shots. He's probably going to need more time. If the Lakers don't draft him, I don't see anyone drafting him.
So if the Lakers don't draft him because they want LeBron's son to play with LeBron to keep LeBron there, then I don't see anyone draft him. That's
he's saying that really even the Lakers don't even really want him.
Yeah. And at 6, to be listed at basically 6'3", 6'4", coming in measure at 6'1" is not good. Especially when, and they're going to mention this a little bit later, Bronny's not a point guard. He can't really run an offense. He's kind of a shooting guard, but a shooting guard at 6'1", that's really
short.
That's really short, and also he's going to be really mismatched. Even if he is a great defender, he's going to be really mismatched on any potential switch. It's rough.
Teams would want him on a two-way, and I don't think Clutch would want that. It gets a little tougher. The other scout I talked to, positional athlete, doesn't function as an elite athlete, tweener stuck between two positions. Should be a point guard based on his size, but he can't run an offense. He's handicapped as an undersized shooting guard because he can't shoot. 0 4 on threes on one day, 1 for 3 the other day.
Because he can't shoot. That's kind of a rough analysis right there.
Remember, he only shot 34% at USC.
Mm-hmm. And we've talked about this before. Bronny died basically, in practice, a couple weeks before USC's season or during training camp or whatever for USC basketball. And his heart stopped, he had cardiac arrest, had to go to the hospital. We talked about that when it happened. All the reasons that may have happened aside, the simple fact that he was dealing with that and had to recover from that and had kind of a late start to the season, I certainly think there's a lot of people that could justify in their minds that that's one of the reasons he did not have a great season, especially towards the beginning. Mm-hmm. But how is he now? That's the question that everybody wants answered.
Screens to create space, and his only scoring came on paint touch floaters and can only go left. His strength is supposed to be defensively, but he's a switch matchup. Every bigger player who switched on him scored. He's a poor man's Davion Mitchell.
Oof. Not Donovan Mitchell. Davion Mitchell, all right? So you just look at the fucking face and you know exactly what that means.
He is not an NBA prospect, in my opinion. Not my words of 2 veteran NBA scouts.
Now, of course, all it takes is one scout for one team to say he is an NBA prospect and he might get drafted. But at this point, it's looking like late second round, if anything, for Bronny, unless the Lakers or somebody else decides they really want LeBron playing with them.
Yeah. I blame LeBron for this. This is the reason why Bronny's getting embarrassed right now. Because LeBron James going out there saying, I'm going to play with my son. My son can play on the Lakers right now. He's better than all you bums on my team. LeBron James did this. And now Bronny has got exposed because of LeBron. This wouldn't even been a story really if LeBron didn't open up his big mouth.
To me, almost everything that goes on with LeBron is rooted in his, like, he is the cause of so much of it. When you look at the teams that they build around him, it's his decisions. A lot of the players that are on that Lakers team are because that's who he wanted there.
Yeah,
Remember when they brought Russell Westbrook in? It's because LeBron wanted Russell Westbrook instead of DeMar DeRozan.
Yeah.
That ended up being a fucking nightmare. This team has been built by and for LeBron James, and they're going to bend over backwards to keep him there by potentially drafting somebody that, in the opinion of NBA scouts out there, is not ready to be in the NBA.
And it sucks, man. It sucks for Bronny because
Yep.
he knows that the only way he's going to make it there is because his dad forced his way in. And that's not any way to... He's not going to be proud of himself. Like, that's an achievement. When you get drafted into one of these major sports, like, that is a personal achievement. I did this, and I'm like, I had the skill, I had the talent, the determination, and I grinded away for years practicing my craft, and I finally made it to the professional sport. That's not going to be the case for Bronny.
Yeah.
Bronny, he's not going to be able to say that. He's going to know deep down that the only reason he made it there is because his dad said so and got him there.
Yeah. And Bronny has said that sounds like he really doesn't even want to play with his dad. He said, I never even thought about
Dude, does he even want to play basketball? The dude, like, he streams video games on Twitch with all these professional streamers. Like, that's what he does in his downtime. Bronny? Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Bronny streams like Call of Duty, Warzone with, he's kind of like the Kyler Murray of college basketball right now. Like, that's all he does is plays Call of Duty. And guess what? He should stick to that. If that's what he likes doing, and if he's good at it, and if he's got a lot of viewers, if he makes a lot of money doing it, fuck all. Who cares? Let him play fucking video games as a professional streamer. His dad is the one that's trying to, live vicariously through this dream that he wants to play on the court with his kid. Hey, listen, if Bronny wants to be a streamer, let him fucking play video games. Who cares?
I do think that Bronny has said all the right things when it comes to that. When he gets questions about that, like you said, he's like, no, I'm not necessarily looking to play with my dad or anything like that. He's said all the right things. What he wants, what he believes, I don't really know. At the end of the day, all you're talking about is the PR that they're putting out there. So I don't really know exactly how he feels, but to his credit, I think he's handled it pretty well. I haven't heard anything from him that seems like outlandish or a stupid thing to say from a PR perspective.
Yeah, they said his interviews are good. They said his interviews are good.
Yeah, but does not look promising for Bronny's NBA future.